Welcome to Shapify Experiences, a media web podcast where we have been talking about the future of digital experiences. For us, we have with us Bruno Tulha.
Hello all, and first of all, thank you for the invite. It's quite interesting being here to know you and have the opportunity to discuss with you and share some experience, some topics about it, talk a bit about it.
Welcome. And actually, nice to meet you. We just met you today, but we do have this opportunity, and this kind of podcast is also an opportunity for us to know each other and to have a relaxed conversation.
Yeah, of course, I agree. So let's do it.
Yeah. So you are now in Sumol+Compal.
Exactly.
But before getting to Sumol+Compal, we can talk a little bit about your progress, how you started and how you get there.
Okay. I started working on Deloitte. Okay, my first job was on Deloitte in consultant firm. Okay, so service providers. Before that, in fact, was not a job, but I did my dissertation in organization that the focus is investigation. Okay, in ESC in Porto. And
what were you studying at that time?
I studied electrical engineering, master in energy. Okay. But yeah, I studied engineering. What is curious what I did in my dissertations because it's very related to AI. Okay, maybe my passion started here. Okay, in this journey about AI, just because my dissertation was focused on building a predictive model. Okay, predictive model to determine or predict the temperature. For a thermal temperature for a room specific room. Okay, we build a model about it. So the concept of AI started there. Okay, so now I don't need.
How many years ago?
How many years ago? I have to do some counts, but 10 or
a lot before the generative AI appears.
But we already talk about Gen AI. About AI, right? Because AI is more than Gen AI.
Yeah, AI is there
at
years and years. I don't know actually when the first concept of AI appears, but probably, I don't know, 50 years. I know that is really a long time. Just now it is scale with the generative
because
AI.
Gen AI you can introduce the natural language, right? So you don't need to programming, so you can interact with that with the natural language. So it's amazing. Yeah. So after that, I started in Deloitte in consultant job. Okay. So I worked in technology, but not in programming. My focus on digital transformation, operating models. So trying to help organizations to be more efficiency, to be more productive, to help them to implement new technology, but in the way more strategic, right? So the vision, you should do like that. Your architecture, system architecture, you should build this component after this component. So blueprint, solution, design, things like that. So I have been there like 5 years, more or less. Okay. After that, I went to the business side. Okay, now in the business side, so it's quite curious because I thought in the beginning that I could continue all my career in consultant. Okay, I thought about it many times, but in fact, I changed it to business side. Yeah, so I think I have some my experience there in Deloitte. I think I can use in the business side, so I can relate now better because I have the sensibility of the service provider too. Yes, and now in Sumol+Compal, I'm digital transformation manager, but basically I'm leading the intelligent automation and digital products area. Okay. What is that? Basically, is the delivery part. Okay, so when you need to implement applications, automations, you need to implement automation or a solution with an app, with an RPA, integration. Now AI, agentic AI too. So into some solution that you need to insert technology in the process. But my focus, in fact, is more than just deliver, just lead this team. The focus is on maybe bring technology, people, culture all together, the process all together to create value, to transform the process, transforming the way how the people work, transforming our process to introduce more efficiency. You know?
So, at the end to become more efficient.
So this is what I did right now and what I'm doing right now. So this is the focus.
Okay. So, and still in Deloitte, what was the project that you might like to highlight, like that was really disruptive? For if you can talk a little bit about some.
I'm thinking.
Probably in different ways, multiple
it's
ones.
difficult because we did a lot of projects. Okay, we did a lot of projects. I remember one specific one. Probably not the one that makes more impact. I don't know, but I just remember one that we implement. I will explain why I think I remember this one too. But I'm just remember a project that we did. The idea was implement a COE, so a Center of Excellence, about a low code, so OutSystems in that case, in our organization. I will not say the organization because I'm not sure if I can or not. But no in our organization in Europe, so in Europe, we implement so they wanted to start using OutSystems, the low code platform. To start implementing because they want speed, they want agile. They had the agile mindset, so they want to explore. They want interaction,
they
things
want
like that.
A tool to make them actually agile.
Exactly. So they want it, but of course, governance is important. So at least in my point of view, So the idea was to implement a Center of Excellence. So to give them some rules, best practices, the model itself, the governance, the roles that you need to have in your in that case the organization to start implementing. After that they can start. They can implement because they have some rules. They have some.
They have a structure of
the structure, and they can start. So I think this is the one that I remember a lot because brings technology. So brings in that case. I will say OutSystems is not a new technology right now, but maybe on the past in this year, maybe it was for them. They wanted to try something new, right? But they didn't know exactly how. So I believe that this part about processes, technology, governance, and to implement, to try to be faster, because the idea of the process is that you want to be faster to implement your applications, your solutions. So I remember a lot of time about this process.
This project, and that I didn't know about that project, but that probably can be replicated or some parts because each company is a different company. So maybe you cannot just grab everything that you learn from there and apply in another company. But I understand why that for you maybe it will be a very, very good, relevant project because that. All of the rules, all of the concepts that you define there probably are useful now in Sumol+Compal in all of the projects that you are working after.
Exactly, because for example, if you look to AI, right, we live in an era that everyone wants to implement AI, right? And if you look to some papers that appears from Gartner and things like that about the risk to implement AI without governance, there are a lot because everyone wants to implement. And attention, a disclaimer: it's very important, at least to me, to test. Test, fail. It's important and evolve next after that. But governance is very important, at least to me. And if you look, for example, to the process, right, to this new era about AI, obviously that you want to implement things with AI. You want to use vibe coding, for example. It's a new thing, right? You should do it. But imagine the process itself. The idea is obviously that I think the key principle. Let's say, the key principles about the process itself, it's the same. So the same in 5 years ago or right now, what you want is speed, interaction, feedback, and co-creation. Brings business and technology at the same time. With AI, I think it's the same. So the key principles are the same, with or without AI. But in fact, the way how you do it, it's kind of different. The way how you do it, because if you compare, for example, with Pro Code too, the way how do you approach the vision itself, it's kind of different because, in my point of view, I think you can bring AI to to design faster, right? You will design faster. You will develop faster, at least the first prototype.
At least the prototype, yeah.
You will test faster. You will give insights faster. So you go to the market faster, right? So the process, again, the key principles maybe are the same, right?
Yeah, just compressed in less time.
But exactly. So I believe, or answer what your question is, my answer is yes. You can bring, or at least I can bring, I think, what I did there and compare with right now and implement right now the same theoretical thing.
Yeah.
Because what you want is that.
Yeah. Yeah, because so the process in that case was a team to deliver projects in our systems, but just to create projects. I can relate even that could be even not to applied, not to create software in maybe develop of other kind of the product. Actually, I was saying that and thinking that we used to use a methodology, design sprint, that have that kind of concept also. It's basically a week of work to identify a problem, to generate possible solutions, choose one prototype and test it in 1 week. And this can be applied to software, to a physical product, to anything.
Yeah, of course, I'm used to talk more about digital products because it's my mindset always thinking digital, but you are completely right. You can use the same mindset for a specific product. And if, for example, if I look to Sumol+Compal, we can do the same. Why not? Why not Sumol+Compal start with a new product, test on the market, right? A new juice or a new kind of food, I don't know, but test on the market. If it results, nice. If it does not result, if it fails, it's okay. Iterate, evolve, but get the feedback, right? So get the feedback as quick as possible.
As possible, yeah. After testing 1, 2, 3, 10, I don't know, maybe one, it will work quite well, and then will make the difference.
Yeah. Completely agree. Yeah, I think this is what will make the difference, and with this, you will achieve the value that you pretend faster. You go to market faster. You will create products that make sense for people, right? Because you have the feedback.
Yeah.
And with AI is the same, but in fact, you will do it faster.
Yeah, you will accelerate that process more.
I think you will understand the needs of your clients, right, faster. So you will understand the needs, because many times you are trying to develop something, a digital product or not, but you think you know the needs of someone, right? The features that they pretend, or to what they pretend. But in fact, you need more, right? You need to make sure that these needs are the needs that they want. So
I see. You're saying that in I see that all of the time. Like when typically when we talked with stakeholders, and I think is one of sometimes the issue in developing software. If the company that is developing software focus too much in requirements instead of trying fast and making some kind of innovation or testing, if focus so much on requirements. The requirements come from the stakeholders. The stakeholders have a vision, and they know normally well the company, but they are in a high level. They are not in the workspace. They don't know exactly the details of the things, and that details are very important, because is that people that will use the systems.
Exactly.
In a lot of times, and what we suggest always is to talk with users. I believe you have similar. Maybe you can pass to that. How in Sumol+Compal, and actually I still wanted to ask something about the process, but maybe I can join both. Like what works the best in that process that you designed for that company? What was like 1 or 2 topics that make how you said the center of excellence working properly? If you remember something about that now you replicate in most of your projects. And and the second part of the question is how you not just apply that to Compal, but how you create new solutions. What is kind of the process that you use?
Yeah. In fact, I think we can. Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to remember some parts. Yeah, of the report. But yeah, I understand the questions. One of the things, for the first one, governance is very, very important. Okay, but at the same time, I talk about governance, but at the same time, organizations, for example, want to. Why do you want to develop something? Because you want to innovate, probably, or at least the organization should have the feeling or the proposed to innovation, right? To innovate more, and in fact. There is here a balance between many times about at least what I think about a balance between innovation speed, right? Because we want to innovate, and between organizational constraints, right? Why? Because innovation needs speed. Organization
speed
needs control
and kind of risk.
Yeah. So for example, you are touching the very good point, because organization needs control, right? So yeah, control is very important. The structure, the governance, as I already said a lot of times, is very important. But at the same time, and going to the risk, at the same time, I believe that if you want innovation, you have to accept some level of risk. You want to accept it. You need to accept it. So what I think that we're trying to do, for example, in Sumol+Compal, is create let's go safe zones, okay? Like controlled environments that you can test. You can test, for example, a new technology, an agent AI, I don't know, a new thing that appears, vibe coding, for example, okay? You can test it. Always that you have your governance published, you have your rules, you have your technological scape or ecosystem.
Actually, about the governance, because you're repeating sometimes about governance, what you consider a good governance? So how because maybe some people maybe the governance part in general are a little abstract for
and governance people. In fact is a little bit abstract, but let's try to explain that part. Governance is when, for example, in an organization, right, the part of the control in organization, you have to choose, or at least you already choose some technologies, right? You have your ecosystem. You have Microsoft, you have OutSystems to do this. In Microsoft, you have Azure for the infrastructure. I don't know, you use Power BI for the dashboards. So you have to do your architecture, for example, okay? Architecture makes part of the governance. What you need more? You need persons, right? So you need someone to lead the OutSystems technology. You need someone to work with the infrastructure, right, with the security. So you need the roles, but you need processes, okay? So when I talk about governance, I talk about three things. Technology, okay, because you need to choose technology. Processes, because you have process, and the culture, the persons, okay? So you have all of these three let's call pillars, okay, that you have here. This is what, for me, it's governance, okay? But of course, you have governance, you have your technology, but the speed as markets are evolving about technology itself, it's crazy, right? So many times you need to explore other technologies. You already have yours, okay, nice, and we are comfortable with that, but you need this kinds of environment that I'm talking about, the risk, because you need to test new things. You need to test AI. If we don't look to the technology market, okay, let's go like that, if I just became on my space and I don't have time to explore, I will lost some opportunities, okay? I will lost some knowledge.
So became less competitive.
Exactly. Yeah, I touched on the point. So we need this safe zone, this controlled environment to test new things. To test, for example, vibe coding in Sumol+Compal. Obviously, that we don't have vibe coding yet to develop them, right? We are using low code. We are using OutSystems. We are using Power Apps. Okay, we use a lot Microsoft. Okay, obviously we have our SAP, and other technologies, but we don't use vibe coding yet. Okay, but we need to test, right? We should accept some level of risk. So in this environment, we could test vibe code. Obviously, I think it's important you choose a specific use case, a controlled one. Okay, something that, of course, in my point of view, will solve a problem that exists. Okay, You don't need to invent. You should choose something that exists. At the same time, why? Because you need to measure, right? You will implement, but it's important measure, okay? Because of course there is a lot of challenge in technology in organizations, so you need to measure. So this is why I think this kind of safe zones is important to test, and don't be afraid to test.
Yeah, so yeah. I was thinking two other two questions there. The thing about measure is maybe first that one, this one. The thing about measure, I think, is very important, mainly when you are talking about new technology or innovative technologies, because sometimes happen, and I think now is happening a little bit, that some companies want to use AI, and they are. I think every company are a little pushed to use AI because everyone feels that if I don't use, I will become less competitive. So they want to force themselves to use AI, but sometimes they don't have use cases. Like use case is like I want to use AI, I don't know where.
Yeah.
And make the thing a little bit the opposite. The thing that you were saying about having something to measure, normally you have a problem, and then you have something that you measure related to that problem, and that makes totally difference, because then if it's AI that I will be used to try to solve this problem, then I will measure if it's getting better or not, but there is a purpose of using the technology.
I think there is should be a purpose. Of course, you can test in the use case that you have, but you can test in anything. But for me, should be a purpose to test. Because if you don't do like that, are
just testing technology and without any purpose.
Yeah, but I think you need to have arguments to discuss after, because we need this technology because this technology provides us more efficiency, less effort. I don't know, but you need to measure something. So for me, it's important to have a specific use case. Yeah.
The other thing that I was thinking is, so if you have that. How you're saying the
environment, the control environment,
the control environment.
Safe zone,
but if you are testing things, if you are testing, then you identify a new technology, and you might need to adapt your governance.
Yeah.
Right.
So in the end of the day, if you believe that this technology will gives you more value, it'll give you more efficiency. For example, you need to adapt your governance, you need to adapt your technology landscape. Yeah, of course. Your team, in fact, in this governance process, to evaluate new things. So completely, you need to do it.
Yeah, you're saying about vibe coding that you're not using yet, but by saying yet, it means that you are already
in
looking.
Production.
At least is already looking to it. How you see that new technology, that new way or possibility of creating software can improve the traditional way of developing?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I want the answers too, but we are trying to have these answers. Yeah, what I think is, for what we already explore, because we don't have nothing yet in production, but obviously I already explored in personal side too, but in Sumol+Compal too. We're trying to explore to understand how in all the process that you have when you look when you will build a product, right? All the journey, the end to end, when you start and when you finish. So you can use a lot of technology, right? And for example, you have no code, low code, right? You have pro code. And now we have vibe code. But in fact, vibe code, I think, can bring you more speed. Okay? It's what we are trying to test. And in which part of the journey, of the process, we will use vibe coding? In the beginning, in the middle, in all the process, can we use vibe coding to develop an app and put on publish and production?
Yeah.
Maybe not yet. So I don't have these answers right now. So it's important for the organizations look for vibe coding, understand what is the space for vibe coding. Okay, if for example low code technologies will embed vibe coding there or not. Okay, so my point of view, we have our low code, that we use a lot, but we'll look for vibe coding, we'll test, and we'll determine in which part of the process we will use. For example, if you want to do, and this process, I think that are changing at this moment and will continue. Okay.
Yeah. Every single day is appearing new things.
Yeah. So the creation part. So when you need to design a new product, right? Even digital or not, but you will design. You can use, for example, vibe coding to get ideas, or at least you use vibe coding to create your first design. Okay. So you'll use it. So the part of the creation, in this part of the process, maybe you can use vibe coding, okay? It's what I think that you can, to do a prototype, right? To do the first, not MVP, because maybe you don't want to put on production, but the first prototype to test. Yeah. So obviously that with ProCode, you can to do the build process, you will waste, I don't know, 3 months to produce something. Low code maybe less, 1 month, I don't know, depends of the application, of course. But with vibe coding, maybe 3 days, okay? With 3 days or just 2 days, you can have a POC to show someone, to someone to test it. I'm saying days, but maybe in hours, okay? Maybe in hours. So you can test it, right? So you can have feedback faster again. So feedback faster, you will change more things. So you already know exactly what the needs for your public, right? So you already the needs. So after that, even if you just use vibe coding the beginning of the process, because after that maybe you need more security, because until now vibe coding don't have yet the maturity that you need, right? Because you need security, you need database, so you have a lot of constraints that you need to evaluate, of course. So, but for the first time, for the project in the beginning, you could use, right, to test. You iterate. After that, you will do some changes. When you already know everything about the functionalities, maybe you can use a pro code or other thing, or a low code too, okay? So this is what I think that vibe code will bring to us, speed again, okay? It's what we want is go to the market as fast as is possible.
Yeah, and in that way, when you actually make the big investment, that is when you have more when you understand better where is the way, because you already tested, we already made maybe some versions, and then test and understand, okay, this version is the one that works best. Then we will invest making it real, making it to go to production. Maybe need to have traditional code involved, but it will be something. It will not, instead of making that investment at the beginning and might not be in the right version, in the right way, you make it already something good enough.
Exactly, completely.
Sometimes we are using in MediaWeb even like we have our design team and developing, and sometimes when we are talking with clients, the process starts by this design. But it's possible to do things so fast in vibe coding that I see myself sometimes, or sometimes it happened already, that we first do a prototype in vibe coding. That prototype sometimes give us things that we didn't thought. One thing that I realize is sometimes it's good to be very specific. Other times it's good to be very open, very
give more ideas,
right? because if you don't give all of the details, the AI might give you something that you were not expecting.
Not be biased, for example.
And you see, I was not thinking on that, and just to generate things, and so in some projects we already do the opposite. If we even that we are designing, we make something in vibe coding. It actually works, but then we go to design again. But okay. Just to go to the details and to make it really exactly like we want. If it's necessary, because if the project is not don't need very detailed, also in terms of design, the vibe coding typically it's good in terms of UI. Depend on the platforms. Also, ones are better than others, but. Normally they are good.
I think it's important to test, at least. So test vibe coding. Obviously that if you have your low-code platforms, things like that, continue use. Because I think was that I'm not saying, neither you, I believe that for everyone goes right now to vibe code and do everything vibe code. No, because there are a lot of constraints to do, and low code, it's a very good platforms to do a lot of things, to a lot of developers. Pro code, of course. Yeah. But what I think is too that these low code platforms will evolve too, right? Will the evaluation, we'll start embedding AI, embedding maybe vibe coding, and these platforms already have the structure, already have the architectural patterns, rules, the security part too. So I think these platforms will continue.
Yeah, I agree totally. Like the low code platforms are also including AI, and I think in some way they kind of probably meet themselves in the middle. Like the low code platform don't generate code, or actually it generates code in behind, but you don't need to look to code.
Yeah.
While these platforms use AI but still generate code. So I think is one of the problems of the vibe coding is that you can be faster, but at some point when you get stuck, you need to look to code, and if you are not developer, it will be harder. While low code is more visual, so even if you don't know code, you can look to some of the things.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm thinking that the challenge is not the technical part, right? The challenge right now is not the technical part.
Yeah, that's actually my next question.
Okay.
But maybe you can continue. What is the challenge?
No, what I was saying is the challenge is not the technical part. The challenge is the way how you do it for the client, the experience, for example, right? So you have a big challenge. This is the human part, right? The human, the culture, because people have afraid sometimes to change, right? Have some constraints on that part. So it's difficult to build some trust, right? So the technical part is very, very easy, let's call it that, to produce something, but you need to understand your client, right? So I think there will be another pillar here that will converge. That is the experience, the UX experience, the UX role. Okay, I think it's very, very important in these days, in nowadays, because again, the technical part you will have vibe coding at least to produce, but the experience, so is very, at least for me, I think is very important. Not just the product owner, not just the Scrum Master, not just the dev guy. Okay, the UX designer, for example, will be very important to understand the needs, understand the feeling of each one. Even in this era about AI that we use, and we will use agents, for example, agents AI, agentic, we will reinvent the processes, right? So I believe the role about UX will be very, very important to reinvent all the process, because the classic ones, or the traditional ones, for example, in Sumol+Compal, we have a lot of traditional processes, normal. But with the inclusion of about AI, okay, even agents, you need to reinvent some processes. So the UX, how do you build something, will be very, very important.
Yeah, I think we are completely aligned that. And I was remembering the last, not this year at one in the OutSystems one, but last year was when OutSystems introduced Mentor. Yeah, and we did some interviews. Actually, David here did some interviews there about the mentor. How is the mentor? And he always finishing the questions about AI. Like, okay, about UX. They introduced Mentor to generate applications. So where a UX, what is the importance of UX? And it was all of the people were aligned that, okay, I can generate code, I can be more productive. Anyone, more or less, can be an engineer, but the UX part is
fundamental. I think it's the central part too.
Yeah, the AI also can help us a little bit,
of course.
But I think is like the software is more predictable. Like software is code. Like AI can create software, but creating good experience, there are so many variables that you need to consider.
And of course, AI can help the UX designers to doing their job.
Yes.
Okay? Because I believe that the UX designers, for example, will moving from designing the screens, moving from that to crafting human AI experience, right? So So that's it.
The AI can also design the screens after you know what screens need to be designed.
Exactly.
Or what function, not even what screens, what
the functionalities.
What functionality are necessary.
I don't care about the layouts. If you look for the technology, I don't care about the layouts. For example, SAP, our ERP that we use in Sumol+Compal. There are a lot of buttons to perform some tasks, right? And some tasks that I need to go there and perform something that I need. I don't know. I create a purchase order, for example. Okay, I need to click in a lot of buttons, and in fact, the layout is so confused. Okay, but if you think with AI and the new experience, you can build a new experience because the process is that I need to go to SAP, create the purchase order in that way, click on this button. I don't know. But the experience could be very different, right? With AI, maybe you can build an agent, right? So you have the technical part, you have the agentic AI, so you have technology. The process can be different. You have the UX to design the new process, for example, with an agent to perform this part. Yeah. So completely.
Yeah, completely. And that's a little bit in automation that I think is one of the areas that you.
I think in the future will be, and the organization will reinvent themselves, will bring automation, data, will bring people too, because people, I think, will be on the center, okay? Bring more value for the people. We'll bring AI. All of these will converge and we will get more value for everything. So we will reinvent every processes. I think this is the main.
And the new process, the objective is the same, but can be completely different. Don't need to be even a piece of software. I think at lunch you were just describing the issue or the task about booking a hotel. That you needed to go to SAP and needed to book the
for example, itself. This is a process very. I not say heavy, but it's a process, very manual process. For example, when I need to go to Lisbon because I live in Porto, right? In Gaia, I need to talk with someone. To ask him please to book the hotel, okay? This person in Sumol+Compal needs to contact our agency, maybe, okay, or a booking page, I don't know, something like that. To book, to select, to get a price, okay, to get a price, Maybe you need to call someone to get a price, okay? After that, the person that I ask, okay, need to go to our system to create the purchase order, okay? So why? My experience, it's kind of difficult, right? Because, for example, if I need to book a trip for next week to come Lisbon again, why I can't have experience different with an agent? Maybe an agent I ask, like ChatGPT or Copilot, right? I ask, I need to plan a trip.
Or something internal from
something internal. But the rest now could be like ChatGPT, but something internal, of course, internal, But I can have like a chatbot that I say, okay, I need to go to Lisbon, please book in this area, okay, in this part of Lisbon, I don't know. Maybe this agent will...
Until this budget, can even say,
until this budget.
I have this budget, I want
or
this
until the budget that are defined in the back office for Sumol+Compal, okay. So they can find on Booking, they can call APIs or MCPs, new protocols of integration that can call from Booking. They can book, right? Or at least they send, oh, Bruno, you have this option. Do you agree? Do you feel it's okay? Okay. He books, right? After that, he call another agent from SAP to create the purchase order and create the purchase order itself. You don't need people to do this type of low value tasks, right? You need people to do high value tasks, not this kind of manual, repetitive things. This is my point of view. So
I think that is very important. Very important. I think is the point of the automation and the AI. Like sometimes people ask, like, okay, AI will steal my job or not, or like, but the objective will be to automate things that is just a waste of time for people to be doing, like submitting forms in some place or doing other things. Like people should be doing tasks that need human brain, that need to be more creative or something, or more relations.
100%.
Instead of, okay, there is something that I need to copy, paste, and now I need to put in that system also, and now I need to inform someone. And
imagine that you need to contract someone to do this job. It will be very difficult because anyone, I think, will want a job like that, right? Because I think we need to to bring people for the center, right? For where there is the value. People should do high value tasks. So yeah, the people on the center, as like the mindset of the industry 5.0 is that. So you have like a symbiosis between human and technology, right? Yeah, you'll use technology to empower you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree with you say, because AI will not remove, or at least AI won't remove the jobs of the people. So AI will empower the ones that knows how to use it.
Yeah.
Right. So this is what I believe. Okay. So yeah, the AI
and in some cases, if some people job is just to do repetitive tasks, not high value tasks, in that case the AI might really take the job, but it creates opportunity for that person to do something more interesting.
Yeah.
Than doing
and to evolve in the career.
Exactly.
Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah, so the recommendation I think is use AI to evolve your career too, because it's AI can empower you. So use it. Don't be afraid to use AI. I think so. Use it. You need to use to empower your job.
Completely.
To do more things. I do more things right now. I'm more efficiency because I have AI.
Completely.
So yeah.
So it's so different. Since research or even like even create software, the vibe coding that you were saying is totally different. So, what last thing you like to share here? This is very open question, but do you remember something that you didn't talk?
No, the what I want to share is that we talk right now, that we said use AI. Don't be afraid. I think so. Don't be afraid to use AI or low code. Okay, so use low code, use AI, test vibe coding. Don't be afraid. You need to give sensibility about these things. So for what? For you challenge you in your job, in your daily tasks, right? So you need to start with not the digital first mindset, but the AI first mindset. Yeah. When I'm saying this for people, okay, for the personals, but even for the organizations, right? So AI first right now. We are living in the era, and my feeling is that we are living in the crazy moment, in the very exciting moment on technology right now. So we are living it, so let's enjoy. I think we can enjoy. But sometimes is that, so AI will empower you. I think we will create symbiosis between people, human rights, and AI. That's it. And you can bring a lot of value. So don't be afraid and use tests. Think on the future, yeah. And it's I think it's a time to reinvent. Okay, for everyone, completely. For the service providers to reinvent how they sell services, right? Or their offers. Okay, because they need to challenge the business side too more, because AI brings a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, but at the same time complexity. So there is an opportunity here to help organizations. So there is opportunity for example, in that case, low-code platforms to bring vibe code or to bring AI, let's call AI, to their, because could be an AI assistant, okay? So, but yeah, bring AI to these local platforms. I think there is an opportunity. And there is an opportunity for everyone to be more efficiency. And when I say everyone, people or organizations and reinvent. I think and enjoy the process.
The entire world of organizations are in can be reinvented. The way that the businesses are work now can change totally in the next years.
Completely. Yeah. So we need to enjoy this journey. I think it's a crazy moment. I know, because a lot of things appearing. But at the same time, very excited moment in technology era. I think we are living. We need to enjoy that part.
Completely, it's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. It was very great, and thank you for your insights to this share. I think it's very, very important. Thank you for the invite again.
Thank you also. Nelson. So see you in the next one.